Okay, you're live now.
Hi everyone, welcome to our Facebook Live Cook With Us cooking demo today. Today we are actually making a delicious, rich, creamy recipe that you won't feel guilty about. So this is our Carob Nut Butter Cup. This is the recipe right here, d2e.co/CNB cup if you want to follow along and cook with us. It's only 5 ingredients. If you have these 5 ingredients, it's going to be very easy to follow along. Okay, now I have actually pre-started this cooking demo just because I wanted to get the water boiling. So I've got what's called a double boiler, where you have a saucepan with 1 inch of water in it, and then you put a bowl over the saucepan. Now, you just want to make sure that this bowl is oven proof. This one is actually oven proof and microwave proof. You don't want to grab just any glass bowl because they're not all oven proof. So you want to make sure that it is a safe bowl to use. What we're going to do, I'm just going to put the boiling up a little bit. Might get a little bit noisy, but we're going to use this ingredient right here for our carob. So we're going to put these carob chips right in, and then I'm going to put some coconut oil. Now this is a super important ingredient, and the reason coconut oil is so important, you'll see actually before I dunk it in there, you can see how solid it is because the temperature of this room is quite cool. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. You might be wondering, why am I putting salt into this sweet treat? I make it a habit of putting salt into everything. Everything I cook has salt. Ooh, we're spitting a little bit. Just going to lift that up and maybe bring down the temperature slightly. And the reason I put salt in everything is because salt brings out the natural flavor. So what the salt is doing is it's bringing out the natural flavor of the carob and the coconut. You can see that's melting down very, very quickly. And you can use regular chocolate chips if you like. I love to use carob. If you've never used carob before, carob is an ancient superfood, just like cacao. It grows, it basically is these long bean pods, and they grow on trees, the carob tree, and then they just grind the pods up and into a powder, and that's how you get carob powder. And then this product uses the carob powder with some other ingredients like coconut sugar to make a carob chip. So you can see that's melting down nicely. Now I love carob. A lot of people don't realize how good carob is for you. Super high in vitamins A and B, and also high in iron, protein, and get this, it has 3 times the amount of calcium than cow's milk. So if you're looking for a calcium fix, you can make this sweet treat and get some calcium in you. Okay, so now you're starting to see that everything's melting down. The last thing is the coconut. You want the coconut oil. You cannot substitute the coconut oil. The reason being, coconut oil has that amazing property where it actually will solidify, the fats in it will solidify when it gets cold. So if you use another oil, it may not set as well. You know, I've never tried using another oil. You could test it, but I know for sure that the coconut will work, and it gives it a nice coconut flavor.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Ruby says that she has carob powder. Can she use that too?
Yes, absolutely. If you just want to use carob powder, you can use carob powder and mix it with the coconut oil. And you don't need to use the double boiler method for that.
Right.
You can just, if you've got coconut oil that's already melted, or if you need to melt it, you can just mix that melted coconut oil with the carob powder.
And she says she likes it because it's also caffeine free too.
It is. No caffeine, and it also doesn't contain theobromine, which is another stimulant that some people can be affected by when they have chocolate or cacao. Okay,
this is
the
coconut oil we're using. Good old Dr. Bronner's.
Yes, good old Dr. Bronner's. The other thing I love about carob is it does have a natural sweetness, so often you don't need to add as much sweetener to it. It has a slightly earthy flavor as well. If you've never tried it, definitely give it a try. Okay, I'm going to move some things around to show you how I'm going little not peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
We all know the peanut butter cups that everyone loves. I'm making nut butter cups just in case anyone doesn't want to use peanut butter. So, yes.
Oh, we have just a couple of people who just joined. Can you remind us what we're making?
Yes, we are making carob nut butter cups, and I've just melted the carob chips down with some coconut oil and salt, and I'm putting the first layer of carob into our cupcake liners. So you want to make sure you don't actually have to use a muffin pan if you don't want to, because you can put them directly into the cupcake liner, but I just like to put it in here just to hold the shape a little bit. It's not necessary if you don't have a muffin pan. If you have one of those Silpat, those muffin liners that are made from silicone, you can use that as well. I just like to use these ones because it gives the shape of the peanut butter cup or nut butter cup. So you want to make sure that the liners that you use specify that they're grease proof, because I have used some in the past that are not grease proof. Bad idea. So it's very, very hard to get it off, and then you don't end up with that little cup that looks really cute and kind of like the other candy that we all know. Okay, I'm going to put this carob mixture in. I'm only going to put about a tablespoon. I just want to put enough to line the bottom. You can put more if you want a thicker cup. So I'm putting about.
Vera asks, will we be having the recipe after? Yes, it's actually in the description.
Yes.
And I'll show you right here. Let me just put that down. d2e.co/CNB cup carob nut butter cup.
Okay, so as you can see, I've put all of the carob in. So this is my first layer. I'm putting this in the freezer. Our freezer is actually a little bit difficult. You want to try and keep it as level as you can so it doesn't go everywhere. Okay, I'm putting that in, and I'm actually going to take that out again just to show you how quickly it does set. But I do have some I prepared earlier as well. So I'm going to bring these over here, and I also want to show you how I'm going to make this nut butter filling. It's very easy.
Right.
As you probably know if you're following along with the recipe, there's only 5 ingredients in this recipe. Very, very simple.
So you don't just put nut butter directly in?
Yes, so you absolutely can, but because this is a sweet treat, I thought, why not add some maple syrup? Because it's nice to have that sweetness all the way throughout. Now, you absolutely don't have to. You can just add the nut butter as is if you want, but I just like it to be a little bit sweet. So I'm just putting this is almond butter fresh from our bulk department. If anyone has not used our bulk nut butters, we have almond, we have peanut butter, and you literally see it as almonds and peanuts, and then you see it come out as beautiful, delicious, rich, creamy nut butter. And it smells so good, and it just tastes amazing. We also have, in select stores, we also have pistachio butter. Wow. Amazing.
It's so good.
It's
pricey.
It's pricey,
but worth it.
A nice treat
Yes.
every now and then. Okay, so I'm going to put this maple syrup in here.
Okay.
And you can use another sweetener if you prefer. I know maple syrup can be on the pricey side for some if you want to use agave or coconut nectar or honey. You can use the others. Actually, I heard a couple of weeks ago that maple syrup is 13 times more expensive than oil.
Wow.
So apparently it is very pricey, but it just has that very distinct flavor that, you know, there's nothing really that can perfectly substitute maple syrup. But absolutely, if you want to use another sweetener, you can even use pureed dates as well.
Ooh, Ruby's asking, which stores has pistachio butter?
That's a good question. I know for sure Kakako and Pearl Ridge, but I'm not 100% sure about the other stores.
Yeah.
But I know your question will be in the comments, so I can ask the other stores afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to you in the comments. So definitely stay tuned.
The newer stores have more space for new butters, so
Yes.
I don't think any of the other stores, when I say new stores, I mean Pearl Ridge, Kakako, and
Kailua.
Kailua.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a tiny bit. Now you don't want to put too much peanut butter in each one, and almond butter in each one.
But
and
you
the
can
reason
use, but you can use
you
peanut
can
butter.
absolutely use peanut butter, and actually if you're allergic to nuts, you can use tahini or you can use sunflower seed butter, whichever one works for you.
So Cece, how long were these in here? You put this in the freezer
they were in for a couple of hours, but you'll see when I pull out the ones we just put in that they're probably already starting to firm. It only takes maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Okay.
And then we have another comment that said, "Love this. Thank you."
Oh, you're so welcome.
And thanks for selling bulk teas.
Oh.
Yeah, we do sell bulk teas.
Yeah, thank you for reminding us.
Yeah.
Yes, we sell a lot of amazing things in bulk.
Yes.
Actually, one of my favorite things in bulk is the herb and spice section, because I'm always experimenting and wanting to try new herbs and new spices. And sometimes I don't want to buy a whole jar of them because I've never tried it. I don't know if I like it. But I love that I can buy like 20 cents worth of a new herb and try it and be like, this is amazing, and then buy some more.
The bulk section is good, like you said, for experimenting. And if you're not, if you don't need to cook for a large amount of people, like if it's just yourself or two of you at home, no need to buy a whole bottle of something that you're not going to use very often.
Right, exactly. So you can see that I'm very carefully trying to put just a little bit in each one. And the reason I'm only putting a little bit is because I want the carob to go over it. So as much as possible, I want to flatten it.
Yeah.
You can put more if you can get it to spread. But basically, I'm trying to spread it out so it'll be flat. And you'll see why, because I'm going to show you the finished product. And you'll see the ones where I flattened it well and the ones I didn't flatten well.
Can I show them this real quick?
Yes, please.
Just, it's how smooth it is.
Yes.
It really looks like that classic peanut butter cup.
Right. It does. Except this is so much better for you.
So much better for you.
Okay. So now I still have my melted carob. I'm going to place, and basically all I want to do is I want to put enough to make sure that I'm covering. So I might need to put a little bit more. And you can see that sometimes you do need to flatten it a little bit with your spoon. This is a very messy kind of recipe.
Yeah.
But it's really a fun recipe to do with kids as well if you want to cook with your keiki. There are no knives, so that's quite safe. The only step that they would probably need quite a bit of supervision is the boiler step. But that's pretty much everything else they can do all of this.
Or if they do the carob powder like you were talking about earlier, then no need to boil.
No need. Yeah, that's right.
And then Ruby said, maybe what if you pipe it out?
Oh, if you want to pipe out the peanut butter, that's actually much more effective.
Yeah.
We actually don't have a piper, but that's a great point. Maybe I should invest in one for next time.
Yeah, if you're making a ton of them, then definitely piping would be nice.
Much more efficient.
Yeah, but if you're just making 6, no need to.
Right. This recipe actually uses an entire pack of carob chips, the one that you have the address for. But this one here is half the recipe.
I see.
So you can see I've got some bits kind of exposed.
Yep.
You can see parts of the almond butter. So I just try to cover them, and I'm going to do this last one as well.
And I'm sure because it seems like you've done a lot of these before.
Yes.
Have you added any extra bits and pieces?
Yeah, sometimes I top them. I actually sometimes top them with some salt.
Yeah.
Just because for that extra little bit of saltiness. Or sometimes I put coconut shreds on top, or even hemp seeds. I put dried fruit on top, dried fruit pieces. Yeah, you can really be creative with them.
And the deli has these peanut butter balls that they sell. They sometimes have hemp seeds or coconut shreds on top, and those are really good too. I think they use very similar ingredients to what you're using today, just without, it's just the peanut butter, no chocolate with them.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry, no carob.
No carob, just the chocolate. Okay. All right. So those are done. So then I'm going to put these in the freezer, but before I do that, I want to pull out the other ones for you to see real quick. Just because we kind of a small freezer. Okay, so you can see these ones are pretty much set already. Like that was very fast.
That was like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put these ones in.
And they're so smooth. It's hard to tell on the camera, but when you pick it up, you can definitely feel that it's solid.
Yes.
And ready to go. And they're so cute.
All right, and now let me show you the final product.
Yay.
Here we go. So this is the difference between doing it really smoothly and well and not doing it so well. So when you put enough, then this is all smooth. But if you don't put enough, then it ends up looking like this because you have to fix it. I actually had to fix all of these, but that's okay because these ones ended up looking a little better. But if you get really, really good liners, then it ends up popping out very, very easily. Just like this.
Oh,
and
wow.
It ends up looking like that. And then I usually, just to make it look a little more dramatic, I like to stack them. So you see how well they pop out? That's why you need a good liner.
Yeah, you want those ridges in there too.
If you don't have a good liner, then it can look a little disastrous.
Yeah.
And then it ends up looking like
my gosh.
this.
Looks so good.
And if you want a softer candy, you can just, what you can do is you can put it in the fridge instead of the freezer. And you can store these actually in the freezer for, you know, a month or more. But I honestly don't think they will last a month.
Right.
Especially if you have Kiki in the house. Okay. How do they look?
Oh my gosh.
So cute. All right, should I do a taste test?
Yep.
Okay, I've tasted these a million times, but here we go. I haven't got to the nut butter layer yet. I need one more bite. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see that nut butter oozing out there.
Yep. Nice
These
little
are so rich.
nut butter surprise in there.
I honestly usually cannot eat more than a couple of these. They're
Yeah.
really rich. Really, really delicious treat. Okay, so does anyone have any questions? Thank you for all the tips and comments. It was great. I do want to remind you that you can get all of these ingredients online at downtoearth.org/shop, or if you have been looking on the recipe, you'll see at the bottom of the recipe, which is d2e.co/cnb cup. You'll see the bottom of the recipe has a shopping list, and you can actually click on all the ingredients for each store from that shopping list. And there are only 5 ingredients, like I said. Super easy, super simple recipe. So you can shop that way. If you would like to, you know, try something from our deli, you can also do that online as well via order.downtoearth.org. Enjoy. If there are no other questions or comments, we just want to thank you again for cooking with us. And we would like to encourage you to join us on our next demo. Our community outreach assistant Amber will be teaching our next Instagram live demo this Friday at noon. And then we'll have another demo next Tuesday right here on Facebook at noon as well. So thank you so much for joining us to make our Carob Nut Butter Cups. Here they are. Please do make this at home, and if you do, tag us on Instagram, Facebook. Our handle is usually DownToEarthHI on almost everything. So tag us so we can see your delicious food and we can rejoice with you. Thanks so much, guys.